Hello, this is the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Friday, April the 25th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in as a guest or use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Well, let me quickly bring up the SPY. Obviously, a pretty brutal day for the market today. This line here is where the SPY closed yesterday, and so you can see that it was it was down all day, and we had some big drops. We had a couple of pullbacks and drop again, and so it ended up quite a bit lower than where it closed yesterday. So obviously a challenge today to go long, and but let me go over the trades that I actually took today, and they were actually all long trades. Now, the first one is WFT, and this came from one of my custom programs, and I had the alert at $20.15, sort of a momentum play. And I took the trade right here at 2017, and I sold the first half at 2037, and the second half, actually, as it went up through here, down at 2027. Obviously, going long today was a challenge, as I said. So wasn't going to hang around and watch stocks that I got into on the long side give back all their gains. So obviously a little conservative today because at the end of the day it certainly was a little bit better, but nonetheless not a bad trade. 20 cents and 10 cents on half for a long trade today. So not too bad. Now the next one was actually pretty good because I'm going to just bring it. It was FE, which is a utility, and this was on my 20-day break alert, and you can see the 20-day high. 20-day high. So it's the break of the 20-day high. There are other filters in place, but this is where it gets triggered. So the break of the 20-day high was 34.43. So I got into the trade at 34.47. Now, as I say, this is a utility, and one of the reasons why I didn't mind going long on this is because if you take a look at the spider sector list today, the utilities were right at the top most of the day. I'm not saying it was right at the top all day long, but certainly within the top three. And so when I took a look at this and I saw that it was in the utility sector, I said, well, okay, let's take this trade and see what happens. Now, the only problem I did have was if you take a look at the daily chart, and you can see this is the 200-day moving average. So it was getting close. 3470 was the 200-day moving average. So I didn't really expect a lot out of this trade. I got in at 34.47, and it went through. Remember, 34.70 was the moving average, and it actually went through. I was a little bit surprised, and I sold the first half at 34.77 and the second half at 34.72. So when I say I was pretty happy about this trade, obviously, again, to go long today was tough, but as I've said in previous videos, that you really probably should have the spider sector list handy at all times. I know it says top nine. I think I've got 14 here. But if you just even keep the top ones up here and just take a quick glance at when you're getting into a stock, check to see what sector it's in. And even on a day that's terrible, the utilities were good because again, when people are afraid, the market's down, there's a bit of a flight to what we call the defensive stocks, and utilities are among those defensive stocks. So that was the second trade. The third trade was, let me just bring it up here, was TEVA. Now, TEVA was one of my bounce plays, came off one of my bounce alerts, and you can see why. It had been driven down hard. These are all 2-minute candles, so it had been driven down hard. Now, I think I had said in the room right around this area here, not so much about TEVA, but that I was really reluctant to get into a bounce plays today because the market was so bad. And you need some help from the market if you're going to get into these bounce plays. But when I looked at the SPY, this is just show you quickly the SPY. You can see, yes, it was going down, but you can see how it was starting to move up here. Right up in this, right here, it was starting to move up. So it gave me a little bit of confidence then to take this trade. And so that's what I did. I took the trade at 48.77 and I exited right here. Actually, I exited half at 48.95 on the way up and half 48.95 on the way down. You can see right here we had a little spike down in the SPY, so it was really following the SPY a lot. And yes, I know it rebounded, and it would have been great if I had been able to hold it up in this area. But it also did this, and the way the SPY was going, you never, or the market was going, it could have just done this right here without this little jog up. So again, protective strategy for me. So, but I was happy to take the trade because basically working with the SPY and the bounce at the same time. And then the last one was trip, and that did not work, but it didn't hurt me too much. Again, it was the bounce play. You can see I was alerted to it right here. Now the SPY was, it was I would say almost a little, this is a little jog down here, and so, but it was sort of steadying a little bit right here. So I thought I would take a chance, and I got in at on the trade at 79.14. So again, right in this area here. Actually, it was right here when I got in. I watched it go down because I had to wait to see where the bottom was, and it looked like it was putting in a bottom. So I took the trade right here at 79.14. But then you can just see here that the SPY was starting to give it back up again. So I exited that trade almost immediately for a small loss, a 6 cent loss. So not too much harm done. But again, trying to go long, even on bounce plays where the stock's been beaten up, difficult even when the day is so bleak. And the news coming out of Russia again and all. Who knows what's going to happen with that area over there? But at any rate, that was the excuse that the market had today for being so bad. So we'll have to see what happens on Monday. So let me just bring back the cover page, and again, here's how to get into the room. And hope everyone has a nice weekend. And I hope to see you in the room on Monday.